And welcome to Fallen Enchantress Legendary Heroes Expert on the Wildlands map, episode number 30. Well, this one might sound slightly different for a change, because as it happened, I managed as a noob at this game to, well, the game of recording that is, to just record static on this particular episode. So, we're just going to have to run with a straight on voiceover instead. So you'll just have to imagine the music. Not that the music has been coming through that clearly, I realise, but I'm recording this on a new mic that I actually picked up from episode 32 onwards, so the whole sound thing should improve a whole lot from then on, and all of my noobiness in terms of recording these should be over by my next playthrough, which I've already decided what I'm going to do, but I'll keep that under wraps for now. So what we're doing, obviously, we're fighting the Magna. We're looking at possible abilities we can add to our units, mainly our hero units, or our sovereign, or mainly our hero in this case, I think, to beef them up a little bit. This Turin Mafaral's army took quite a hiding trying to fight the troops of Magna last episode, so obviously I was trying to find a way to give them a bit more of an edge, and I think at this point I actually decided to send them, obviously rebuild the army, but send them towards maybe some of the wildlands, do a little bit of work in wildlands to give them a bit more experience so that the champions can add a little bit more. But we're going through at the moment some of the options that you can put on your units directly, such as Tireless March. I don't think I'll be putting it on this army. I want to put it on Emperor Caravox's army, just because I don't like him being stuck out here. I want him to be able to get around. I can only put it on one army, and obviously the Sovereign's army is the way to go. I mean, he's very powerful with his magic at this point in the game. None of my other champions really have quite the fighting power of the Emperor, so his own army by himself and his units that he's been leveling pretty much since the beginning of the game are pretty strong. So here we go back to Ascian's army, and another fight. Let's get rid of the slag. Slags, as you may or may not know, and according to the game lore, are sort of related to dragons, but they're a lot easier to kill than dragons, as we'll find out later in the series. If you're interested, I have actually completed the whole campaign, so you won't be left with it sitting at some point. We'll get the whole thing up on YouTube eventually, and can see how we go. I finish with a bit of style, I must, I think anyway. You can be the judge of that, I guess. So here we are moving troops up. The scout is kind of stuck. That Ophidian is just right in the way of where the scout might like to go, so we're kind of sitting there, bringing Ascian's army up to see if we can clear a path for our scout to be able to get out of this little area. And it looks like it's quite a good area to settle here for the 4-3-2. It's just at this part of the game I was starting to worry about my unrest penalties. I was getting quite a few cities. So here we go, we're trying to do a trade with Queen Precipini. We're seeing just how far ahead they were. Paradin seemed to have a very significant tech lead over everybody else in this game, although I'm not sure, though certainly at this point they haven't made much of it, but yeah, they seem to have a bit of a tech lead. I don't think it's that many technologies, it's just, it seems like a lot. I mean, we're doing 30 tech a turn, so a couple of hundred tech lead it's only 7 turns of research if it really comes down to it, so it's probably like one single tech. It's not really that much. It's certainly not an overwhelming technical advantage. And really, the strength of your armies is, if anything, as important. I mean, your technology helps you have strong armies, but having your sovereign with a high level and a good mana pool, if that's what they rely on, can be just as effective as technology in this game. It's part of what makes it quite so fascinating, actually. So here we go again. We're having a look at the slag. What have we got? Uncontrolled rage, adds splash damage, bash, can knock victims prone, vulnerable to fire, can swing at 3 adjacent enemies, and charge. So it'd be quite good if we had Emperor Caravox here, but we don't. We're just going to have a go at him anyway. I mean, why not? Strong enough army here. I think we're going to have a go at him. Looking at it now, I don't see any reason not to. There you go. He's only medium, we're strong. And Ascian's up first, which is always good. So we're going to use our lightning form to get to you in one go, or what are we going to do? Maybe we'll hang back a bit more defensively at this point, because otherwise the entire creature's attack will be directed on Ascian. So hang back this turn. Callous Hairtoe, what are you going to do? This defender's been a very valuable troop with the ability to add that defense at the beginning. It's called guard, to add guard to our units, and the heal has been very useful. So here we go with Bacco. Still remember that epic battle we had right at the beginning with Bacco. Almost lost. Shame about the frame rate and the sound quality and everything else, but yeah, it was a good battle. I guess that's what the 2 levels do to you. Make some of these early battles in particular quite hard, but now here we go. Let's bring Ascian into the fight. The slag shouldn't last too much longer. Get a good maul going. Come on, Ascian. How many more can you do? 32 health left, and he dodges. Okay. So, Hairtoe, what are you going to do? You're going to just come up? Not much else you can do, really. Come up and pass. Need a bit more mobility, really. Oh, well, fair enough. Might as well put guard on. Ouch. So Bacco really needs better armor. But he's got a pretty good attack with that weapon he's got. And there we go, Ascian pulls out a crit just when it's needed. And unfortunately with so many heroes, like Ascian counts as 1, so there's 3 heroes in this army. That sort of limits the amount of experience each of them gets, but then, you know, they're coming along. It's not too terrible. Now what have we got here? Fiery Horseman, a few reinforcements. Where can we get to? Bring them up. And we will probably join those armies up, so we may have lost half our army with that secondary army. Turin Mafaru's army may have lost half of its troop in the end of the last part, but we're getting most of them back now. So we can move to there. Probably are we going to join these reinforcements up, or are we just going to attack this fairly weak unit ourselves? Yeah, we can't do it this turn. So really is Turin Mafaru. He's pretty weak, but we can move towards them. There you go. That's what we do. The scout's still stuck. We need Ascian to come all the way up and defeat that Phidian. So back here, no, we still can't do anything. And we've got some more troops that we can bring up, maybe. Not really. So we've got a yellow turn counter at the bottom left. That basically means that there's got to be a city that's not doing anything, and you can see the Zs there. That's the city that needs some build orders. So this is one of our towns. It's at level 2, 46 more to level 3. Capped at 135 due to current food, but it can certainly get that extra 46. So what have we got? 43% unrest. Build queue. Market would be useful since it's a town. Mason is always useful. Merchant. Gets us +2. That's pretty much a no-brainer. We're going to whack the merchant in. Yeah, come on. I think we probably need that. Mason, bit more production, always useful. Grocer, faction benefits are always useful. And there we go, that's good for now. So, back to Kirsty. Building a clay quarry. What else do we want? Do we want the castle? Probably not so much. We certainly do want these other buildings that give us benefits to all of our troops. Erog's Tower, possibly not so much. The palace could be pretty useful to reduce unrest in this city. Although it's quite a long time, especially given this is our important troop producing city. The way I'm killing troops, we probably need to bear that in mind. So what are we going to do? Unrest, drop it another 10%, and have 1 permanent growth per season. It's not such a terrible idea. Don't think I did it though. Where are we going? We're going to come back to the palace. Unrest at the moment is in the 40s. What is it? Details 43%. Yep, it looks like I am going to build it there. There you go. Palace is in the queue. Okay. I don't think I'm going to put Erog's Tower there. Command post is certainly something that we need. Discounts on units plus trained unit defense. And so we get the unit buffs. Very important. Clay quarry in 1. Anything else? Okay, it's gone from yellow now to the yellow's gone. That means that all the towns have a command. No, we're building the unit buffs in our other fortress. So all the cities have at least something to build. So we've just got movement on troops now that we can do. Otherwise it goes green, showing you that it's the end of turn. So, okay, let's build up some of these things, get a bit more mana coming in. The shrine goes up from the altars by giving you 2 mana instead of just 1 per turn. So, quite valuable, especially now that we have more champions who are going to churn through that mana. So, just making sure that we've done everything we need to. Oh, and there's a unit inside our territory. Nothing to be particularly concerned about though. This Havelkar is probably the worst city we've got. I'd almost rather just get rid of it. So we're trading with Kapitar. What have we got? So yeah, I mean they're a couple of turns ahead of us. Just a bit of regular technology trading helps to keep it under wraps a little bit. We can give them tech a bit faster than we're getting it, but it helps us, I guess, get a leg up in regards to the other factions. So we could have done that. Guess we didn't at that point. So where's Paradin at? We already have a trade treaty and a trade treaty and a non-aggression pact with them. There's nothing else, no other treaties that we can pick up with the Paradin. Given that, we may as well just end the turn at this point, I guess. Deal with these Magnar troops in a moment. And there's still wandering beasts, as I guess you'd expect. So of course the interturns are taking a bit of time. Now it's kind of one of the disadvantages, I guess, of a large map. I'm not actually sure if large is best for these playthroughs or whether I should stick to smaller maps. I think I'll definitely just be using a medium map anyway in the next playthrough. We'll see how that goes, but I certainly had a lot of fun on this one. So here we go, getting our assault on the next Magnar city ready. We've got 4 essences in this one. So yeah, definitely need to take it on. Right, Ascian, where are we going? Into there. Pick up an Ice Warg Cloak. That's not too bad. 2 defense and 50 cold resistance. Thing is, though, if you're going to get a specific damage type resistance, unless you know that you're dealing with a wildlands with denizens that project, say, cold, fire seems to be a lot more common. I mean, dragons breathe fire. All your fire elementals just seems to be a more common damage type than the cold. So choice, if you're going to limit it to a specific damage type, probably fire is the way to go. Otherwise, take more generic spell resistance. So they've got a few of these weak armies coming out to try and protect them. They won't be able to do too much though. Turin Mefrau. We've completed a Sage, which is good. Helps get that research continuing to go up. And bring up our troop reinforcements. In this case, one of our improved honor guards. What are we going to do with this scout? It's safe to come down now. Are we going to move down? No, apparently not. So Magnar, I have more than armies at my disposal. I've just cast Wither, probably on a caravan again, like he did last time. It was a bit of a waste of time. No, he actually did it on Emperor Carabox's army. Well, it only lasts for a few turns and doesn't stop us. Don't think it's anything for us to be worried about, really. Oh, this turn, here we go. So, Slave Militia, strong. Doesn't appear to have any champions in it, and under the barrage that Emperor Carabox can lay down, I'm sure it won't last very long. Let's do it! Mass Berserk. Well, that's fine. What are we going to do? Choices really are, do I wait a turn, let them get some licks in, and use Blizzard in other words, or are we going to take them out, some of their units with Fireball, which doesn't have nearly as large a range, but it's an instant cast. That's what it pretty much comes down to. I think because quite a few of these armies have cold, reduced resistance to cold, that's a definite consideration anytime you fight Magnar. So that's what I do. 58! Wow, that's a lot of damage. And what's more, they're also in a place where I can't really use Blizzard to get rid of them, so I'm going to have to get rid of them some other way. Hence, we're using the Cold Mages to knock them down to size, and that did a lot of damage to them. What are they down to? 8. So we've all but eliminated them, actually. We're going to move our wards over there, see if we can finish off the final bit. There we go. Now, this ward, probably use Crushing Blow. Take out the slave spears, or at least hurt them. And there you go. Another unit down. There's a lot of units left. Another Crushing Blow. Only does 9 damage, and we're ready to cast. That's why it is good to have a very healthy initiative on our Sovereign. So that looks like we'll get most of the units with Blizzard. Let's fire it off. And good night to quite a large chunk of that army. Unfortunately, they all heal this 2 a turn, So it does take a while. So what are we going to do with Emperor Caravox? There's only 2 units of significant strength left. Use our Flame Dart. It's only 6 mana now and does a fairly significant amount of damage. And we should be able to knock out these ranged units before they can do too much more damage to us. Only needed 3, so that one's gone. This one only needs 7, so it's gone as well. Down to 3 units. Really, we're getting pretty close just to a mop-up phase here. Just the 2 units left. Let's keep this one safe. No point losing units needlessly. They've all been leveled up for quite a long time under Emperor Caravox, rather. So that's a good thing. Okay, what are we going to do now, Emperor? Running a little bit short of things. Silver Tongue. Well, we probably don't have enough gold or Gildar to use that one just at the moment. Pull of the Earth only uses 8 mana. Keeps these guys out of the thing. Sunder. We don't really have elementals. Wall of Fire. No, we don't really need to worry about that. Excuse me. It's only good if you've got a caster. A spell leech, give you some mana. Gift Divine, well, it's a bit late really to worry about raising defense. Pull of the Earth. Let's just make sure this one can't hurt anyone. So we missed their attack. Now they're dead, the archers. That just leaves this 1 unit. And they won't be long for this world. There we go. Another Magnar City falls. Some solid levels up across the board. Level 15 Emperor Caravox, that's pretty good. Right. What have we got here? A Median army with what looks like a ginormous spider. And some Capitar troops wandering through. So let's do a little bit of cleanup. Maybe destroy the Fire Shrill's army on the way. Or even check what is down this way. Looks like it's Gildan. I had thought Magnar had some land this way, but if Gildan's taken over, I guess that's not the case anymore. Because Gildan and Magnar are fighting as well at this time. So, right, what are we going to do with this guy? Go back to that possible build site. Yes, why not? And Ascian, let's have a look at the Lost Library. We pick up 15 knowledge. 15 research, kind of for free, so that's not too bad. And let's zero in on this Ophidian. Okay. Proved Honor Guard. Let's bring up our reinforcements. And we must have a city that needs to construct something. Here we go, the one we've just conquered. Level 9 claims. Not really true. It's a bit of a bug. Not that it's impossible to get to level 9, but just that this city that is registered as being level 9 actually isn't. It's kind of a known bug in the game. One of the ones I wish they'd kind of get rid of. It gives a misleading view of the various Empire powers. You'll see after the turn that our power suddenly jumps, and it hasn't really. I mean, our relationship to Magna probably is better than it shows at the moment, but it's not as good as it will look after this level 9 city is registered under our control over the turn. So what does Blood Sigil do? Berserks all defending units and Withers all attacking units. Yeah, we don't really need that, I don't think. Heart of Fire, all trained units in the city get 1 fire attack, inspiration, 1 research in the Enchanted City. I think we'll probably take meditation, oppression, reduce unrest in the city by 10%, wall of fire. So what are we going for? Let's start with meditation. Given that this one's got 4 essence slots, that's plus 4 mana. Yeah, we're not really going to get to level 10. But that's okay. So it calls ourselves a village when you have to have a specialty at level 2, so that's why you can see it's bugged. And with that 50 occupation penalty, it's going to be hard to ever get this to produce much for us. But if we take oppression, it will help speed it along a little bit, so we are doing that. Putting oppression on the list. And what else? 2 more slots. Enchanted Hammers, maybe. Nature's Bounty, let it grow faster, not really worth it. Inspiration, sure. Why not? Don't think we'll actually do anything until that unrest drops a bit further though. What's our other option? Enchanted Hammers. I think we go with Enchanted Hammers. 1 more material. So if it ever gets out of unrest, you know, it'll potentially be quite a decent city, but there's a lot of reasons why it's going to struggle to do that. So yep, let's build a building to help cut down the unrest. It's probably a few of them really. Probably our best option. Bell Tower and the Cleric. And the Zone of Control as well, because that will help get or remove the non-contiguous penalty. So that's all good. So now we're just checking out how dangerous the wildlife around here potentially are. And yeah, that's all we can do this turn. So it doesn't look like there's any Magna that way. It is where Paradin is though, and Rabisu, who dwells in anguish. He's only medium, so he can't be too dangerous. He's wandering around though. Paradin seem to have a few cities out this way, so it does look like they could be a future threat to us, even though they're languishing down in second to last place right at the moment. And I'm still on the hunt for that 3rd dragon statue. Because as some of the more seasoned players would probably know, if you complete all 3 of the dragon statue quests, you actually get a dragon, your own pet dragon, to join in as one of your crew and one of your armies. So it's a pretty decent reward. And here we go. So Paradin, the powerful Gildan are destroying us. Can you send anything to help us? Money, material? I'm sorry, but you are doomed. we'll get to Gildan when it suits us, not when it suits you. And this is one of the things that kind of upsets me as well. We're not at war with Capitar, yet we can't get past this Pioneer without going off the road and losing all the movement benefit of the road. Seems a bit crazy, but there you go. Okay, the Ophidian is coming after our scout, but here we go. Let's take it out. Shouldn't be hard for this army. Now let's just see. If I go to this location, I can use Lightning Form to strike immediately against the Ophidian. Mind you, I only did 11 damage and I'm getting struck next. So dodge was good. I think they have boosted up dodge in this patch 1.4. Certainly it seems to be more effective than it used to be. I certainly had my doubts over the viability of assassins prior to 1.4. I'm starting to become a believer now, though. I think possibly you could make assassins work. It's just the area of effect attacks that really they can't do that much with, I guess. But they certainly have the potential to deal quite a lot of damage. And Ascian obviously is a very good assassin. This improved Honor Guard will eventually get into the fight. And this useless city is even more useless now that Magnar has cast Antipathy on it. That makes Unrest go up another 10%, so I'll take even longer to get out of Unrest. But I can get rid of this penalty. I believe in my spell book I have a spell to disperse such city enchantments. Not sure it's entirely worthwhile, but anyway. Unrest, oh there you go, it's in Kayao Kaita. But we're still some distance away from this one actually coming out of Unrest anyway. I guess we certainly don't want Antipathy added to the mix to make it even harder for it to come out of Unrest, though. So let's go into the spellbook, see what we've got. City spells. That's the Antipathy. In a way, I should have just left it on because it's burning through Magnar's mana while it's there, but I would like to bring this one out of Unrest. It certainly could add to our empire. So what have we got now? Taxes, occupation penalty, city count penalty, and black market. Probably no point having the black market, so we get rid of that. Still not enough, is it? Close though. We might actually, if we get rid of the black market, we actually can, we're out of Unrest, we actually have 2 percentages of valid production, so the city's now producing. So it will take a good chunk of the rest of the game to produce anything, but right now it's producing, and it's going up 1 each turn, so next turn will be 3, and 4, and so on. Right, how are we going? Magnar cast Wither on us, yes, we know about that. And we've got a Death Shard that will take a while before it actually gets built, but for the moment it's in our territory, so that's good. And that spider seemed to go, so somebody must have attacked it for us. But I wasn't paying too much attention. So Magnar has a Thrall Archer army out here, not a very strong one, and Naressa, a somewhat weakened champion. guess Narissa may have tangled with the spider, possibly with a full army. Anyway, we'll end turn and see what happens. And there, as you can see, as I was talking about before, Magnar, you can see, has dropped a heap now that we've taken over this supposed level 9 city, and we've jumped up right to the front, which, you know, we're probably not too far off being the lead faction at this point, now that we've really started taking the fight to Magnar and taking some of their cities. But the way it's reflected with this level 9 village as it is certainly isn't accurate. So what do we got here? Thrall Archer, let's blow this one up. Easy battle, I don't even know why I went into the battle for this one, I should have just auto-resolved. But I guess you get used to it. It's just what you do. Turin Mafarao, you able to do anything useful? I don't think so. Maybe I should have used the heal, one of those armies. I used Berserk instead. Even the horses can't get up to the fight. They should have been able to. I thought the game at one point was suggesting that if one team only has range and the other has melee, they should be within melee, should be able to engage in the first turn, but apparently that's not exactly the case. Probably is if it happens around the other way, if it's you rather than the AI. I guess that's what they do to try and enforce you know, some sort of difficulty and advantage to the AI, because it certainly needs it at times. Okay, let's blind this unit so that it's going to struggle to hit our archers. Didn't stop them that time though. And let's get up here, not that square, right up and see what we can do to them. Hopefully one shot. No, there's still one left, not much health left, but he is alive. Okay, one more shot from our own archers should be enough to, well, sorry, I mean our mages should be enough to finish off this archer. If I can, there we go, get the reticle up. And what? He's gone. Not much experience gained, but still it's nice to kill them off. So, is that the end of our turn? Nope, we've actually got some movement left. So that's good. And down here, Scout's able to see through to the end. Not much of value there, really. We can get Essien to advance up there, or we probably actually need him back in the battle. Be nice to clear out these fire elementals, but we'll see what we do. Proved Honor Guard. Are you going to come up and... We probably don't want to directly engage the fire shrills, but let's see. Come up a bit further. And if we get off the beaten path here, we should be safe from the fire shrills, perhaps. And where are we going to go with these other guys? Not sure. I think that's the end of the turn. And yeah, that's where I noticed that we'd shot up to the top. And Magna has fallen way down. Guess we've taken 3 settlements off Magna and defeated a bunch of their armies. So it certainly has had an impact, as well as picking up some of the shards and so on that they had under their control. So Wither reduces the attack a little bit. Nothing to get too concerned about. That's the best Magnar can do. I'm much more concerned about the freezes. Slows down progress. Let's just see if they're prepared to surrender. Gonna surrender to us yet, Magnar? No. Well, that really would have been a little bit over the top, I guess, when they've still got 6 settlements, but worth a shot. Why not? They'd pay us for a peace treaty, but they don't appear to have any assets, so that's hardly worth our while. So yeah, looking at the scoreboard, Gildan, well, Capidar's friendly, so you probably want to keep him that way, and Gildan is looking like they're going to be the next attack target. They obviously need to be knocked down a peg or two before they're attacking us directly. They're not very much ahead of us. Less than a turn of research. They probably have like their sovereign is probably a higher level, and they probably have higher production per city. But we have a lot of cities, so we have some hidden strength. It hasn't come to the fore just yet. Right.